Here are 7 tips to help you enjoy the holidays while still staying on track with your goals. And a part of me just wants to say, hey, if you take care of business most of the week, you don't have to restrict yourself when it comes to these events. But I understand that not as many people have as much restraint as I do. So I'm going to put that bias away and I'm going to say, okay, here are some ways that you can stay on track with your goals. All right. One day out of 365 days of a year will not really make much of a difference in your body composition. So let's get that through your head right now. However, the habits that you form on that day can impact you all year round and even for multiple years to come. So, how do I think about holidays? Well, the first thing is number one is I focus on protein. So for me, I'm a carnivore. I like to call myself a plant-based carnivore. So I eat lots of meat and lots of vegetables. And if you focus on those things, you're not really going to have this rebound effect when it comes to your weight whenever you have these holidays. So the first thing that you should eat during the holidays is some animal-based protein if you are a carnivore. If you're not one of those people that eats meat, well, you're in luck because you can eat lots of vegetables, because those two things, protein and the fiber from the vegetables, are the first thing that will fill you up, and it will make it so that way you can't stuff yourself with too much of the other stuff, at least until you take a nap or something. All right, so focus on the turkey, focus on the vegetables, and that should be the first thing that you eat. The second thing is be active. I remember when I was growing up, I would have my siblings around, my family around, and we would play sports. We would go taking a walk together. My mom would always sign us up for a turkey trot, and if it didn't rain, I would go. And we would go jogging up a hill out here. And I know that, gatherings are probably going to be a little bit smaller this year, but try to find a way to, as a family, go take a long walk together, go to the park together, get outside together. So that way you're burning calories. These holidays shouldn't just be about stuffing your face. It should be about being together and, being active. So do some of those things. Number 3, use a smaller plate, right? A lot of times we were taught as a kid that you need to finish what's on your plate. Well, you know what? It's really easy to finish what's on your plate if you make a smaller plate. So that way, psychologically, you feel like you've eaten more because you consumed a whole plate. And onto that, if you do have a bigger plate, try not to get seconds. Try to put enough on your plate that you feel satisfied, and don't go get seconds, because it's really easy for you to have a 2,000 calorie meal and just go to sleep and watch football and then feel like a bum, wake up and then eat some more. And that's not really what you want to do if you have a goal of, maintaining your weight and getting back on track. So try to just not go for seconds or use a smaller plate. Number 4, try to limit your calorie containing beverages. So one thing that you could do is you can take some water, put one of these little Mio energies or whatever low calorie or no calorie sweeteners inside your beverage. If you want something like lemonade or some type of sweet beverage, then I would use that. And I would even, endorse for the one time only, those low calorie alcoholic beverages during this time span. But, it is a day. If you don't drink very often, just, have real wine. I don't think they even make low calorie wine. So number 5, bring a healthy version of whatever it is you're responsible for. So I know lots of people enjoy mashed potatoes and stuffing and stuff. And over the years, people have gotten very lazy and they start using that box stuffing or the box mashed potatoes because they're busy, and they're like, oh, why would I waste my time beating these potatoes if I could just buy it out of a box? Well, it's processed, there's no fiber in it, and it's not healthy for you. So use real potatoes. Or for the stuffing, what you can do is there's a cauliflower stuffing recipe that's low carb, and that's a great substitute for your traditional stuffing, which is essentially just bread soaked in some stuff. All right. So use those alternatives. Try to find low carb alternatives to things that you're typically going to be eating as a dessert or an appetizer, because that's kind of where people overdo it a little bit. All right. And then number 6, find an accountability buddy. A lot of times when we're trying to go on this journey of being the best versions of ourselves, we have a lot of people that are not on that journey that kind of just want to test our willpower. They want to poke and prod and tempt us as much as possible. So it's nice to have a support system of someone that's going to stick by you and say, hey, let's do this together. I know it's a holiday. I know it's a birthday. I know that it's whatever event, but let's make sure we stick to the plan, stick to the goals, And that way you have someone that's going to support you during this time where things might be a little tempting. And then number 7, just understand that it's okay to mess up, to indulge, to enjoy yourself during the holidays. It's not like you're committing a crime. Don't feel bad if you have, some dessert. It is a holiday after all. And just try to get back on track the next day. Do something physical the next day. Or, push whatever your meal would typically be. Say you had a really rough Thanksgiving, you ate a lot. You don't need to eat breakfast the next day, right? What you can do is now push your meal to later on in the day, the next day, so that way you're at least burning some of those calories off and your body's having time to digest it and you're not just kind of compounding. All right. So there's lots of different ways to stay healthy during the holidays. I've never been a person that like gains 5-10 pounds during the holidays. It doesn't make sense to me. All right. Don't use it as an excuse to overeat. If you're eating to the point where you're feeling uncomfortable, that's not a good habit. Okay. So just eat as much as your body will allow you to eat and then go do something else. All right. It's very simple. All right. So hopefully those 7 tips helped you. Just stay positive, stay healthy, and keep fighting. You'll get there. Take care.